Welcome to the Pigeon Academy Show. It's your host, Rodney G, coming to you live from New York City. And again, welcome to this evening's Pigeon Academy Show. For some unknown reason, we had to start the show 30 minutes earlier than what we anticipated, but this shouldn't be a problem. So we are here coming to you again live from New York City, the #1 leading pigeon show coming out of the United States, covering the roller pigeon sport, the flying pigeon sport, the show pigeon sport, and of course, your racing pigeon sport. And we've got a big show tonight, a lot of information. It's going to come out in tonight's show. The news is popping. The agenda on the show tonight is very hot, and there's a lot of good topics. There's a lot of things going on, of course, on our platforms that we put our show, which is Facebook and YouTube. You can go to YouTube and subscribe to the Pigeon Academy Show, but you can only see this version of the live show on Facebook. That's right. So you would have to come here and see it in most of your pigeon groups or hosting the Pigeon Academy Show link. We were supposed to come to you live tonight at 7 p.m., but for some technical reason, we're dealing with technical equipment, we've had to come on at 6:30, and here we are. And again, I'm your host, Rodney G, of the Pigeon Academy Show, the number one show coming out of the United States. And we're covering all aspects of the sport. We are promoters of the sports, promoters of events, races, you name it, we're promoting it. So we're here, and we're getting ready to go to the news and bring out some of the topics right here in the news. So let's go right to the agenda. And one of the things that is prevalent in the news right now is a Newcastle outbreak. Welcome to what's going on in the news on the live Pigeon Academy Show. this evening. And the first thing on the agenda is the Newcastle outbreak in California. This outbreak is something. They said over 54,000 chickens have been immunized, if I'm using the right word, in this outbreak of this Newcastle disease out there. So a lot of the races have been canceled due to there's no shipping in nor out of California at this time. I feel for those guys. My prayers are for them and their races and their birds and their of course, their businesses. And I hope everything works out for them out there. These diseases, and here's an example of a total outbreak in one state right here in the United States. And I hope they're able to handle that. I hope the scientists and veterinarians come up with a solution for this Newcastle disease and the spread of it and get this thing under control. So that's one of the things that's going on in the news. Some of the things that you're still hearing about. You're still hearing about our man Armando. Armando is still in the news. They still talking about the $1 million man. That's what I call him. That's the $1 million man, Armando. $1.4 million Armando was sold to a Chinese racer in China. Some people say it's good for business. Some people say it's bad for business. I say it's nothing but business as usual. Mondo, you're going to see some more birds like this. Why Mondo sold for that purse? Because Armando is a pigeon that has evolved from all these super matings and breedings. These are the birds that they've been trying to cultivate for years. The super pigeon. And Armando, you could see, is one of the first. I'm going to say it. Sun City is one of those type of pigeons over in the GFL loft. Super pigeons that became super breeders. Mona Lisa, super pigeon. Cannibal, super pigeon. Shorebet, super pigeon. These are pigeons that evolved. And now you're seeing it in their children. This is what's going on the news. Armando. He sold for $1.4 million. $1.4 million. That's what's going on. I hope you guys are commenting in the section below. I'm going to be saying what's up to everybody after I cover the news. So guys, stay patient. I'm glad you guys are coming on and viewing the show at this time. Again, we're here. We just covered the one aspect of the news, which was the Newcastle outbreak in California. Yeah. A lot of pigeons are dying out there. A lot of chickens with this Newcastle disease. It's been devastating. It's a quarantine on California at this time. No poultry, no pigeons, no type of birds at all are being able to go in or go out in California. The other part of the news still talking about is Armando, the $1 million man or $1 million pigeon. These are the things that's going on right here that we're going to be talking about tonight on the Pigeon Academy Show. Again, the #1 pigeon show coming out of the United States, covering the entire sport, not just the racing sport, or not just the Tippler sport, or not just the roller sport, but we're covering the entire sport. So here are all the things that are going on. We're still covering the news. And here's another thing that's going on in the news on a local level. A lot of local auctions are on the rise. That's right. A lot of local auctions are on the rise. I'm going to be doing some advertising on the next show on 2 of our local auctions, one in Jersey and one in Masspath. I'm going to get all the information. I've been a little bit under the weather. I'm actually recovering from the flu and bronchitis. I've been out sick for the last 8 days, and this is my first night back online. So that's why you hear I'm a little congested, but I'm here with you guys in spirit, and of course, to bring you the show. So there's a lot of things going on as far as local pigeon auctions. Oh yeah, there's a lot of local pigeon auctions. Guys are stepping up their game. I want to see some really good birds at these auctions. Like this is what I would love to hear at a local auction. This is the announcement that I would love to hear at a local auction. We have 20 birds being sold from Big Blue Wrecking Crew loft. We have 20 birds coming from Chapito. We have 20 birds coming from Tiny, ATU. We got 20 birds coming from Chris from the ATU. They got 30 flights being sold out of Michael Scott's loft, out of Brooklyn. You guys are able to pull things off like that. Those things are going to be impressive. That's what I'm looking for. I'm a bit, I like to do things big. So I like to do things big. I ain't gonna front. So those are the things that I would love to hear at our local auction. I don't like going to an auction and you seeing wash-colored birds and what kind of mixed birds from miscellaneous guys' lofts. That don't motivate me. That don't motivate me. I'll be like, where's the coffee at? Because I'm into the high-profile pigeons, whether they're raising pigeons or they're flying pigeons. I want the high-profile pigeons. I know who got the good birds. If I was a bird broker, I'd be going to visit all those top guys, knocking on their door. Look, man, you're gonna bring 20 youngsters to my auction, man. You're gonna give me 20 birds to bring to my auction, man. That's what you're gonna do. And those guys will probably be like, Pete, Rodney G, we're gonna kick your ass, man. We're gonna kick you out of here, man. Get out of here. But that's what's up. That's what I would love to see. That's what I would love to see. That's what we're dealing with here in the news here. And another thing going on in the news too. I'm going to bring this up right here. This is one of my favorite races. This is one of my favorite races in the news. International one loft race. Derby Arona. I was watching this all morning. They were basking it up for the Derby Arona. They call this the Rolls Royce of one loft races. This is an open sea race in the Canary Islands. This is a $120,000 purse for first place in this open sea race, Derby Arona. Let me tell you, these guys do some great advertising and some great videos with this race, man. This is a hot one right here. Let me tell you. This is a hot one. The Derby Arona race. They're basking it up. In another 24 hours, they're going to be sending the results out. I'm trying to punch in with the results and get that live feed. They showed it. They got everything in place at this race. Everything. You name it, they got it in place. Everything under the sun. Digital display. Everything. When your bird clocks in, hits that landing board, goes in, they show that digital display right there. Boom. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get in that race. I'm going to get birds in that race. In the next 2 years, I'm going to have birds in that race. Or I'm going to have birds. Children of my son City Cock, they're going to be in that race. You better believe that. We're going to be sending birds out to that race. That's an impressive race. Not only the island that they have the loft on, oh man, it's like a resort. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So that's one thing that I'm looking at is The Derby Arona in the news. They're bad. They were basketing up today. They were basketing up in another 24 hours. We're going to see the results of that race. 120K to the winner. 120K to the winner. So I'm going to acknowledge some of the guys that's here. I want to see my man here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, and thanks for tuning in. Okay, there we go. Rollers Loft. Channel from Arizona. That's what's up. We got Nick here. Nick said, "What's up, Rodney? What's up, guys? Glad to see you guys tuning in to the Pigeon Academy Show. When you tune in and we finish the news, we always bring you aboard and acknowledge you. We had to start the show a little earlier, so some people are probably saying, and so forth. Paul is up in here from Sydney, Australia. What's good, Paul? What's good, mate? Paul be hanging out with us on the late crew too. So Paul be doing his thing, because when we be doing. See, there's some things that I'm doing. A lot of the Americans don't know that. Like, let me say from 2 to 3 Eastern Standard Time, I'm on my break. I'll do like Facebook Watch and stuff like that when I'm on my break, when I'm, doing my thing. But the people over in Australia and these other places, that's in the middle of the day for them. So they're seeing those things, So Paul is one of the guys that's always plugging us, because he's up and he's active. And I know Paul manages many pages. So we glad to see you guys are aboard and watching the show and so forth, and enjoying the show. So we're going to go from here. We're going to go into the show. Glad to say hello to everybody. And we're getting ready to get into the next aspect of the show. You're here watching the Pigeon Academy Show, of course, with your host, Rodney G. So we're going to break for a commercial break. And we're going to talk about, on our break, the Peach Classic. The Peach Classic one loft race right here in the United States, being held by Al Gibbons down in the beautiful state of Georgia. And here's the loft that they race all those beautiful birds out of in Georgia. This is the Peach Classic. This is a 25K first place one loft race right here in the United States. You can see their link on Peach Classic OLR.com. And again, this is ran by Al Gibbons, and this is a race being held down in Georgia. We will be going down to Georgia this year, and we will be filming and engaging in this race. This is your Peach Classic right here in the United States. This is a commercial break, and you're going to be seeing more information as we go coming up about your Peach Classic. So a lot of these things that you're going to see right here in the United States, and we're getting ready to bring you some information on the U.S. one loft racing circuit. So there's a lot of things going on. I want to bring up some more information for you. So here's some information that we're going to be dealing with right here. Some very good information that's going to be coming up here. So bear with us for a minute while I bring this up. And you're going to be able to see all of these great things right here on the Pigeon Academy Show. And this one is your Peach Classic. So as we get ready to get all the things that we need, we're going to get some more information that's going to help you, the fancier, in what you're doing, bringing you all the information that you need. So as you know, the U.S., the report is in. Here is another one of the races that this is the U.S. one loft race report. And here is one of the races, which is your annual spring break one loft race being held out in Utah. They actually in training. I'm going to say this is a late hatch or yearling race. The Europeans call them yearling races. I'm going to say late hatch race. They are training birds, and I believe they're out to the 50 marker. So a lot of the races right now, they're getting inventory, such as the Hoosier. I saw today the Sooner race. They were getting birds. They were letting you know you could send birds for the Sooner race. So a lot of races are getting ready. They're receiving birds. We should be getting all kind of reports about these races. So you're going to be seeing more things as we go about all the races. We're going to be bringing you some information about your local club races and so forth. And you're seeing all of this, of course, right here on the Pigeon Academy Show. This is where you're seeing all of this information right here on the Pigeon Academy Show. So you're going to be able to see all this information, all of the local races. We're getting ready to bring you a full report on most of the races right here, such as your AU convention. The AU convention is having their annual race. You're going to see races information on the IF convention. Two of the two major conventions are having their races. You're not going to go wrong with seeing all these things. And this is your convention, your two major convention races right here on the Pigeon Academy Show. It's a pleasure that we're here with you, bringing you this information. And now we're going to start getting into some of your local races. Some of your local races are here in New York or your Big East race. This is a bond race held by none other than Joe Money Green. Big winning Joe Money Green. And you got another race here. This is another good race right here that they have. Wait till we start getting to the races out on the island. There's a lot of races out on the island that are huge. And we're going to be bringing you some of this information. As soon as we pull it up, we're going to be bringing you all this information. And you can't go wrong with racing in these races. These are the top races here. And you know you're watching the Pigeon Academy Show with your host, Rodney G. And we're glad to be with you tonight or any night. So we've had a lot of guests here on, such as Joe Angelino on the show. We've had Crazy Tim this year on the show. We're not going to have a long show tonight. I feel my energy level is coming down, so I'm not going to push myself. Again, I'm just getting over the flu. So we're going to have a very short show tonight. But we covered pretty much everything that we wanted to cover, which was the news. We wanted to acknowledge the people that were here on the show. And we wanted to definitely bring out some information on the Peach Classic, the IF and the AU convention race, and of course, what's going on your local and one loft circuits. So listen, this has been your host. It's been a very short show tonight. I'm glad to get back on and test my level of endurance because it takes a lot of energy to speak and do what we need to do. So listen, see us next Wednesday. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this has been your host, Rodney G. And thanks for watching.